Dear students, we are joining this transformation program, BL5 Audit, Business Process and Digitalization subject. We have conducted a series of lectures. We have covered the whole syllabus. We discussed about overall audit process, assurance engagement, and then the risk assessment and the governance, corporate governance aspects, as well as control framework, as well as we discuss about the quality of audit process, and then we discuss about this code of ethics, values. We had a kind of a effective lecture series, right? Further we discuss about how we are going to audit in a digital environment. So then according to that understanding, what we have to do as a student and how we are going to face to the exam, today I am going to discuss about that, and parallelly I am trying to discuss a model paper, pilot paper with you all, so then you can understand how we can approach to a paper like this. You are getting questions, multiple choice questions. You are having 50 questions which will cover overall syllabus, and it's a difficult task, right? So then 50 questions, maybe all those questions will spread out overall syllabus, right? You have to be very comfortable with the syllabus. So then here I discuss about major aspects in the syllabus. සමහර විට syllabus එක overall cover කරලා තියෙනවා, මම guidance එක දීලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි study guide එක one by one refer කරගෙන මේ guidance එකත් base කරගෙන ඔයාට ready වෙන්න පුළුවන් exam එකට. ඒතකොට exam එකට ready වෙලා කොහොමද අපි exam එක face කරන්නේ, කොහොමද අපි multiple choice questions කරන්නේ කියන එක තමයි අපි මෙතන practice session එකක් කරන්න plan කරේ. Right, we can go to the pilot paper here. So then in the website, in the CA Sri Lanka students login, you can get these pilot papers. So then you can practice this, right? So then here I am planning to go through one by one questions. Some of the question I am not taking too much time. You can straight away you can give the answer. I will explain this paper as a guidance to you all to face the exam, right? එතකොට අපි exam එකට support එකක් විදියට paper එකක් discuss කරනවා. එතකොට මේ විදියටම ඔයාට මේ lecture series එක refer කරලා නැත්නම් ඔයාගේ study text එක guide කරගෙන කොහොමද exam එකට face කරන්නේ, කොහොමද multiple answers evaluate කරලා answer එකට එන්නේ කියන එක අපි මෙතෙන්දී discuss කරනවා. එතකොට ඔයාට හම්බෙන්නේ 3-hour paper එකක්. So then basically 100 marks and 50 questions, right? So then 50 questions, you know that it is a very tough task, because as a examiner he has a kind of a freedom to spread out the areas, spread out all the areas in the syllabus, right? So then my guidance is, my advice is you all to go through each and every aspect in the syllabus. Study guide එකේ refer කරන්න, auditing standards refer කරන්න, තව publication මොනවම හරි ඔයා තව refer කරන materials, related materials තියෙනවා refer කරන්න. ඔයාගේ skill එක වැඩි කරගන්න. So the not to the always once you are studying, අපි exam එක 50 questions target කරනවට වඩා ඔයාගේ knowledge එක adequate නම් ඔයාට easily attempt කරන්න පුළුවන් exam එකට. එතකොට business process, audit, business process and digitalization කියන subject එක we should have a passion to learn this subject, because the sake of getting good pass for 50 questions, if you are learning this subject, may be very easy, right? But you have to learn this subject having kind of a very positive perspective about your future career, right? So then it's a very prominent topics containing in this syllabus. That's all about audit, right? You may be an auditor and auditee in near future. 90% chance එකක් තියෙනවා ඔයා auditee කෙනෙක් වෙන්න. auditor කෙනෙක් වෙන්න maybe 10%, right? that auditor වුණත් finance division එකක් නම් represent කරන්නේ company නම් represent කරන්නේ auditor කෙනෙක් විදියට ඔයාට audit එකකට face කරන්න මේ syllabus content එක help වෙනවා right එතකොට business process ගැන understand කරගන්න control design කරන්න implement කරන්න control how we are going to operate right so then you may be the key person in that control designing panel right it's very useful for your future and then very time appropriate topic that's all about digitalization right we are moving from the physical environment to the virtual environment right and digitalization is a key topic with the technological aspects we are dealing with e-money right and all those aspects will be decided by yourself ඔයා decide කරන process එකේ part එක කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේ overall syllabus එක ඔයාට qualification එකකට වඩා ඔයාට ලොකු ඔයාගේ competency එක skill improve කරගන්න benefit එකක් කරගන්නවා කියන එක තමයි අපේ expectation එක. So then with having that knowledge and understanding you can easily face to these 50 questions. That's the positivity I can give you all, right? So then with that understanding, that positivity, we can start our discussion. So let's go one by one. First question, the agency theory explain an essential function in corporate governance. Which of the following best describes the agency theory in corporate governance? So then under corporate governance aspect, corporate governance topic came to the picture because of the agency relationship, right? So then the shareholders, then the stakeholders are deviated from the management. Management is the person who are, the representing the shareholders, stakeholders to govern the organization. So then the management perspective, they should maintain a good governance. So then that agency relationship will give good results after having proper corporate governance set up. So then what is the exact answer? It explains about the agency distributionship. So then this is not the exact explanation, right? It explains that agents are the shareholders of the company. No, we can't say that agents are the shareholders of the company. So this is not correct. So then agents are the board of directors, right? Board of directors, agents are the board of directors of shareholders. එතකොට shareholders ලගේ agent ලා තමයි board of directors ලා. Shareholders are not agents, right? It explains the relationship between shareholders of the company, agents, the directors. This is correct. So then we can go to the last one. It explains the relationship between employees and the staff of the company. That is wrong. We have not discussed about that, right? This is all about this. So the corporate governance topic we always discuss about this relationship between shareholders and board of directors, how they govern this organization to enhance the shareholders value. Shareholders we can expand to the stakeholders, right? That's why we should have proper setup in the organization. So then that's committees we discuss, right? Audit committee and remuneration committee, nomination committee, related party transaction review committee, right? To have that setup, to have that board balance in the organization to enhance the agency theory, right? Enhance the agency theory. So then that's a relationship between the directors and the shareholders, right? So then you can easily answer. So then here, second question, corporate governance is important because it ensures that space with a relevant interest in the company's business are fully taken into account. Which of the following term is the correct to fill the blank? So the shareholders, directors, auditors and stakeholders, because it ensures that the most appropriate answer is stakeholders. It ensures that the stakeholders with the relevant interest in the company's business are fully taken into account. So then, as is, we can put shareholders as well, but they are having limited interest. But as organization, we need to focus about CSR, social economic aspect as well, right? So then, that's all about what? Stakeholders. That's the appropriate answer. This is not correct, right? I hope you are clear. According to the corporate governance code of best practice, the CEO's performance should be evaluated, right, annually. So that's the requirement. So then you can go through the code of best practice issued by Sri Lanka, latest version, and that clearly says annually we need to evaluate that CEO performance and need to submit to the board whether he is performing well or not. That should be evaluated, right? We discuss about if you are using a same individual for the CEO position and the board chairman, we should have a separate senior independent director in the corporate governance setup to review that overall process about this board of directors process and what they are their independence and the operation about the operation in the company. So then for this question, answer is A. Annually we need to evaluate the CEO's performance, right? So then here, question number 4, establishment of formal and transparent arrangement for consideration of selection and application of accounting policies for the financial reporting preliminary responsibility of directors. Which the subcommittee is addressing? Normally the audit committee, right? Related party committee focusing about related party transaction, not remuneration committee. So then we don't have this type of a committee, right? We are having nomination committee. So then the answer is audit committee. We have already discussed the composition of audit committee as well as the responsibility, the benefits of the audit committee. So then you can refer that section, right? We did a detailed discussion. So you know that basic responsibility of the audit committee. That's all about financial reporting aspect, right? Financial evaluation, how we can appoint the external auditor, how we can communicate with them, are they independent, right? So then have we adequately adopted this financial reporting policies and principles in the organization? So then those will ensure by the audit committee. So the answer is audit committee කියනෙ, right? Pasani prashne. Which of the following statement best describe the duties and responsibilities of an audit committee? Making recommendation to the board pertaining to appointment, reappointment and the removal of external auditor is a responsibility, yes. Yes. Develop and implement policy and engagement of external auditor to supply non-audit services, definitely. So then if you are getting non-audit service or audit service, so then we need to evaluate the independence, right? And whatever the requirement and the letter of engagement should be developed by the audit committee. Audit committee should overlook once they are developing this, right? So then audit committee should ensure that the independence That's obvious. Discuss audit plan, key audit issues, management responses. Definitely. So then after finishing audit engagement, the audit committee should review the management letter and audit plan should be presented to the audit committee before we are starting the audit. And audit committee will check the progression, achieving deadline, is there any audit qualification, modification, key audit matters. All those things will be reviewed by the audit committee. So then we can say these 4 items are pure responsibilities, tasks which should be done by the audit committee. So then answer is all of the above, right? You are clear, right? Okay. So then question number 6. The objective of external auditor is to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, at the financial statement level and accession level through understanding the entity and its environment, including the entity's internal control. Above statement is yes, we can say true, right? So then whole objective, so we can add here to issue the statutory or other audit opinion. To issue the audit opinion, this overall paragraph says what we are going to do. As external auditors, identify, assess the risk of material misstatement. Have we done it? Yes. So under the planning and risk assessment stage, we did combine risk assessment to the accession level, as well as we evaluated misstatement to the overall financial statement level as well. We evaluated misstatements. Misstatements consisted with fraud or error, right? Misstatements. Right? And then we study the entity environment and including the entity's internal control. So then we did walkthrough test and we did then we did TOC, and then we at the initial stage we did audit procedures to understand entity level controls. All those things we evaluated the company accession level control as well as the entity level controls. So then we can agree with this statement. We can say that true, right? So then here actually we can't say that partially true, because the whole sentence is correct. We have to say true, but we can improve that sentence, right, to adding this some of other outcomes, like to once we are doing this, the ultimate objective is to deliver provide the audit opinion, right? So then we can go forward, right? We can go to question number 7. That's all about control framework, right? We discuss about control aspects, control environment, accession level control, financial statement level control, centralized control, decentralized control, and parallelly we discuss as organization, management is responsible to establish a control framework in the organization. And then we have control framework, determined control framework we can benchmark. So then COSO is a very common control framework we can follow as organization. So as per the COSO internal control framework, we have 5 elements, but this observation is not a element, right? Control activities, monitoring, information and communication, plus risk management function, plus control environment. Risk management function and the control environment is the other 2 aspects. So then altogether we have 5. You can refer the study text and our discussions, but here we can't get observation, right? So then answer is D. We can go to question number 8. Which of the below statements best describes the purpose of including the sequential number in the invoices that are being sent to the customer? So then having sequential order in the number of invoices and whatever the sequence order, so the receipt and payment vouchers and kind of a GRN, so then we should have a sequence order. So then having sequence order, what ensure that? To ensure the accuracy of data, they facilitate the reconciliation with sales day books, they inform the customer about the ledger number in the books of accounts, to ensure the completeness of data. So then these may be, you know, the some in this type of questions we need to select the most appropriate answer, right? To ensure the accuracy of data, this may be kind of a benefit, right? More than that, to ensure the completeness of data. Completeness of data mean what? For a period, for kind of a month, to understand the relevant number of invoices or number of revenue items, number of relevant transactions, we need to identify the sequence order for that relevant period. Completeness always dealing with the exact value. It can't be excess, it can't be less, right? To ensure that, we need to have a sequence order, right? So that's the best answer, right? You can go forward. Question number 9. Procurement manager of ABC PLC has ordered store items even though those are not required to the procure. In the procurement process, the procurement manager has ordered some of the things not required for that process. What is the best internal control to mitigate this risk? So then once we are discussing each and every process, we discuss about business risk. So then under procurement purchases, we discuss whether we are purchasing adequate relevant items, whether within that short period, is that a relevant item we are going to purchase, right? To ensure that, what we have to do? Order items with the approval of board of directors. Approving the purchase requirements before raising the purchase order. Reconciliation of purchase order with the requisition. Physical checks on goods service organization with the purchase order. Physical checks, good received, already received, we don't have any action to take, it will add a cost to return that. Reconciliation of purchase order with the requisition. Requisition එකත් එක්ක purchase order එක check කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට. check කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි requisition එක additionally කරලා නම් තියෙන්නේ. Then again doubt එකක් තියෙනවා, requisition එක approve කළාද තියෙන්නේ. So then approving the purchase requisition before raising the purchase order. අපි purchase order එක raise කරන්න කලින් approving the purchase requisition, අදාළ department එකෙන් purchase requisition එක කරපු කෙනා කවුද, ඒක adequate ද කියලා බලලා ඒක approve කරලා ඒක base කරලා purchase order එක කරොත් මේ වගේ incidents වෙන්නේ නැහැ organization එක. It's a good mitigating control. The best answer is answer B, right? I hope you are clear. Question number 10. Internal controls are the prime responsibility of the management of the organization. Exactly. So then establishing set of controls in organization. It's all about the core, core responsibility of the management. Which of the following is the objective of an internal control system? What's the core objective? So then basically as organization, to achieve the organizational objectives and respective goals, we need to have a proper setup of proper control setup. So then here we have set of answers: to guide the board of directors on achieving company objectives, to safeguard company asset and prevent frauds, to generate additional income to the business, to divide corporate responsibilities. So the best answer is answer B, to safeguard company asset and prevent frauds. After having this, we can achieve company objectives. We are going to save asset, prevent frauds. So then once you are preventing frauds, you are reducing misstatements, then mean you are achieving your targeted revenue. So then others are others touching about this controlled environment, but the best answer is answer B. So divide corporate responsibilities, yeah, through controls. After having 4I principle, it divides responsibilities, correct. Generate additional income to the business. Not only the additional income, is a core income එක main income එක generate වෙන්නේ control setup එකෙන්. ඒක additional income generate වෙනවද කියන එක නෙමෙයි. Additional income එක it may be a part of that, it may be a byproduct, right? Guide the board of directors on achieving company objectives. Board of directors ලාට guide කරන්න නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ. Board of directors ලා තමයි internal control framework එක හදන්නේ to guide to the employees, executive employees, non-executive employees, whatever the parties in the organization will impacted, right, will be impacted through this control setup. So then the best answer is answer B. So then we are going forward. Below mentioned document is an example for, what is this document? So then we discuss about relevant source document, purchase requisition, good receive note, or vouchers, and three-way matching concept. We discuss all those things. You can refer your study text containing the formats of each and every document. what a document එක මොකක්ද purpose එක කියලා decide කරලා content එක බලලා මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන්. So then here you can see date, time, and then our order number, warehouse, supply and suppliers advice note. So then supplier ke name maker. So then quantity and part number, cat number, description, and received in good condition, initials. Received in good condition. These are the criteria, right? So then මේකේ මේ quantity විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. quantity විතරයි. value එක mention වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. good condition එකෙන් ආවද කියලා බලලා තියෙන්නේ. What is that? Is that purchase requisition? No. Sales invoice? No. Cash receipt? No. It's a good receive note. It's a format of a good receive note. So then you can go through the content, you can decide that. Actually, you don't want that the technical knowledge to decide this. If you have kind of a practical experience, you can easily give the answer, right? Purpose the most suitable internal control for risk of an invoice is sent for goods which have not been delivered, which would damage the relationship with the customer and recognize errors in receivables, right? What is this? It's type of a business risk. In this question, address two business risks. What is that? So the having damaging to the business relationship, damaging to the customer is one risk. Having erroneous transaction in the books is another risk. So to mitigate this risk, what's the control, mitigating control, what's the preventive control we should have? We have 4 answers. Approve all sales is very wide answer. Very wide answer. Segregation of duties between stores and finance department. Again, is a delegation of authority, but it's a kind of a not match with the requirement. Check the availability of valid sign delivery note to evidence deliver of the goods. Check the availability of valid sign delivery note to evidence delivery of the goods. Recalculate the value of sales invoices. So the recalculation is a detective control, right? So then this is the exact answer. Why? Check the availability of valid sign delivery note to evidence delivery of the goods. So then within the delivery note, it ensures that the exact items were delivered to the particular customer. So then delivery note එක customer sign කළා. ඇවිල්ලාද තියෙන්නේ availability එක ඇවිල්ලාද තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ensure කරනවා හරිම order එක customer ට ගියාද කියන එක. Right? So then the most appropriate answer is answer C. Right. So then question number 13. What is the most suitable internal control for the risk of offering discounts to non-qualifying customers or calculation of discount incorrectly? Again, here we have 2 business risks. What is that? Once you are doing your sales, you are giving discounts, right? So then once you are giving discounts to promote your sales, you may face many business risks. So then here they address 2 business risks. We are giving discounts for non-qualifying customers. අපි discount එක දෙන්නේ, let's say එයා quantity එක අනිවාර්යෙන් 50,000 items වලට වඩා ගන්නව නම් විතරයි. එයා 25,000 ගත්ත eligible වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි අපි දෙනවා discount එක. This is a non-compliance with internal process and procedures, right? Standard in the organization. So to mitigate that, what we have to do? Establish credit limits for customers. This is a good control, but it's addressing the credit limits, right? It's not addressing this discounts and all, right? Approve all sale invoices by sales manager. Yes. approve කරනකොට sales manager approve කරනකොට අපිට මේක check කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි incorrect discount දෙනවද කියන එක බලන්න නම් check agreed terms with the customer files and company policies. Sales manager sales invoice බලන manager කරන්න ඕන task එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. This is the control we need to establish, right? So then we can say that approve all sales invoices by sales manager by checking agreed terms to customer files and company policies. This is the exact testing procedure we need to follow to ensure to address this business risk, right? Send monthly statement to all customers. This is kind of a detective control. This is not addressing the discount matter. So then now I hope you are clear with this, right? So you are coming to question number 14. The bank has responded as undoubted for a bank reference of a particular customer. What is this ultimate assessment of this bank reference? So then at which point you are getting bank reference? So then once you are registering your customers, right? Once you are supplying goods to your customers, some of the instance you are giving that for the credit basis, right? Credit basis. For that, you need to have kind of a good reference from outsider. If you are getting good reference from a bank, they are giving a reference, or we can get a guarantee as well, but here is a reference, right? Through that reference, they are telling undoubted. It means that customer is very good customer, right? So then accordingly we can search the answer. Not very hopeful. This is incorrect. The worst, incorrect. Not quite as certain, therefore warrants further investigation, not good. The best type of reference, the customer should be low risk. So this is the answer, very clear. So then you can straight away select the answer. So then practically you can evaluate the scenario. You no need to go to the high technical aspects, theoretical aspects. You can read through this question and go to the exact answer. The thing is, carefully read the question. So then that's the art of multiple choice questions. Other thing is, you need to read through each and every answers as well. After you are selecting your exact answer, let's say A is the exact answer, you know that, but you need to read the other three as well. That's a basic guidance, right? A වා දන්න හරිම එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි C එක තමයි වා කියාගෙන යනකොට හරිම ආන්සර් එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙතන තියෙන්න පුළුවන් ආන්සර්ස් හතරම මේක 10%, මේක 20%, මේක 90%, මේක 30% හරි. වා සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න 90% හරි එක. That's the requirement, right? So for that you need to read through all the answers, right? Question number 15. You are in the process of selecting a suitable supplier for continuous procurement process, right? And you want to make sure the reliability of supplier and capacity to produce item in required quantities. So then that's all about what? Vendor registration, vendor screening process. Once you are doing your procurement purchases, you should have proper set of vendors. To do that, before you are registering a vendor, what we have to do? You have to do proper process. You should have a proper internal control process to ensure whether we are registering a good supplier. To do that, what you have to do? So then you can get samples, right? You can get comments from outsiders. You can review their website, right? So then what's the best resource you can get? Are you getting a bank reference for supply? So that we don't have credit risk, right? So then we need to ensure the quality and the continuity of supply, right? So then to that, what is the best source? This is the best source. Ask the supplier to provide reference from other customers. Other customers like comment කොහොමද website එකේ යාට දාලා තියෙන comments කොහොමද එයාගේ experience කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි අපිට කීම important source එක වෙන්නේ, right? ඔයාගේ company එකට නම් ඔයා managing director වෙලා ඉන්න company එකට නම් vendor කෙනෙක් register කරනවා නම් what is the source you are getting information? How you can getting the comfort about that decision? That's all about the customer experience, right? So then the best answer is answer A, right? You can go to question number 16. That's about incoterms. Once you are doing transaction with foreign buyer or seller, incoterms is a very crucial aspect you need to focus. Each and every incoterms described in the study text. Here we have a very common incoterms, exverse, EXW, right? So that's about we can say that that is the for seller side, that is a minimum obligation we can add to the pricing mechanism. is the area we are focusing here. Which price they have given. So then we have the buyer and the seller. In between this buyer and seller transaction, not only the the selling price. So then we need to incur a cost in between this to deliver from customers the seller's place to the port, and then whatever the insurance, and then other charges, carriage charges, and all those freight charges, all those costs should be incurred, right. So then after receiving to the buyer's port, we need to deliver that to the buyer's warehouse. So then all those costs should be considered once we are deciding the price. So then the X-verse is the price from whatever the goods available from seller's own place, whatever the cost we need to incur additionally to get to the buyer's place, we can use X-verse price. X-verse mean seller mentioning that price from his warehouse, right. Whatever the additional cost should be incurred by the buyer. So then that is explained by question, answer B, right. So then first one, the seller fulfill their obligation when the goods have been cleared for port and handed over to the carrier named by the buyer at the name point, right. Here the FCA up until the carrier point they are taking the obligation. So then free carrier, right. So then you can refer third point. This is all about the seller will pay the carriage and insurance, right. Both will both responsibility with the seller, right. So then we can say that CIP, right, CIP, and then here only the carriage, insurance also exempt. So then seller will look after only the carriage. So then CPT, right. So likewise it may be FOB, CIF. So then incoterms is a very common area will be tested in the exam. So then as a student you need to actually comfortable with this incoterms. Actually my advice is it be difficult, you need to understand the the arrangement, the whether what is the comfortable arrangement as a buyer, as a seller. So what are the costs included in this overall arrangement. So that's the way you need to study. So then you can easily go through this study guide, and you can get that guidance, and you can easily face to this type of a question. So then answer is answer B, right. So then question 17. Which of the below method can be considered as the most efficient method for capturing attendance of the employees? Under payroll process, we discuss several controls relating to how we can monitor, how we can establish our payroll related controls. So then it's a set of controls relating to swipe cards, manual attendance capturing, attendance register. So then biometric devices. These are the controls we can use as a management, but whatever the controls you are implementing, that should be very cost effective, right. If we are having 20, 13 card of employees, we don't need to spend more, right. We can monitor that. If we are having more number of employees, definitely we should have a proper method to capture attendance, right. The most appropriate way is biometric devices, right. It may be fingerprint machine, it may be kind of a eye contact machines or face recognition. So then we have technological tools we can use, but other items can be misleaded, right? Attendant register manually, right? Manual attendant register and swipe card. අපිට card එක තව employee කෙනෙක්ට දීලා යන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට හොඳම එක තමයි ඔයාගේ ඒ කියන්නේ face එක fingerprint එක කාටවත් දීලා යන්න බෑ. So then the most appropriate accurate method is biometric devices. So then we have already discussed about this type of controls. So then after having this type of a control, it will address many business risk. එතකොට අපේ attendance calculation එක වරදින්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට elements calculation වරදින්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට company එකට අනිත් employees ලට mislead වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Performance evaluation accurately කරන්න පුළුවන්. So then that will help to many objectives of the organization, right? Which of the below is not a purpose of preparation of payroll reconciliation? So then here we have purposes, which is not. This is really important, right? You need to read carefully to identify these things. Below is not a purpose, right? Employees have been properly paid. Payroll expenses are applied to appropriate accounts. Tax form salary is calculated accurately. Arithmetical accuracy of payroll calculation. So then, which of the below is not purpose of a preparation of payroll reconciliation? So then, tax form salary is calculated accurately. Payroll expenses are applied to the appropriate accounts. Employees have been properly paid. So then, here is the answer, right? Payroll reconciliation. So then, these all things will be tested to the reconciliation. Payroll expenses are applied to appropriate accounts may not be tested to this reconciliation. Reconciliation may be with the last year's salary to this year's salary, or the salary payment with the payroll summary. So then that can be reconciled, but it is not the GL posting, right? So the answer is answer B. Question number 19. It's a responsibility of the management to prepare bank reconciliation to fulfill certain purposes. Which one of the below purpose is not relevant for management to fulfill? What is the purpose is not relevant. Others may be the purposes. We need to select the irrelevant purpose, right? Purpose එක වෙන්නේ නැති එක තමයි මෙතන හොයන්න ඕන. Check whether the balance is in the cash book and the balance is bank records are agreed. This is the core purpose, right? Identify errors or omission in the cash book. Identify mistakes that have been made by the bank to develop the control environment on behalf of the management. So these are basic purposes. This is a wide statement. This is not correct. So then answer is answer D. Right? Who is responsible for the preparation of petty cash payment voucher? Not main cashier. Incorrect. Not account executive, not accountant. Petty cash cashier. This is the answer. Answer B.